However, I had a little bit of apprehension before I took on the project because I steer clear of political or religious themes. The kind of toxic environment that we're in.
Absolutely.
Anyone can take anything out of context.
If I get an offer to play Adolf Hitler, I will. I would love to play him, but it would probably have a backlash. Sometimes language barrier becomes a handicap.
Have you ever seen Naseeruddin Shah acting in any other regional language other than Marathi or Hindi?
Correct.
And luckily, this is the 7th release in the last 3 months.
Wow.
What? Are you serious?
My God.
The busiest of this panel, let's shift.
Left also films or work because of money, lesser money.
When I look back on it 25 years later, it's a wonderful memory. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's not ki Iqbal maine banaya. It's not that. So
Hello everyone, welcome to News 18. I am Titas Chowdhury in conversation with Nagesh Kukunoor, Amit Sial and Bucks. Like I told you, I'll call you.
Thank you.
Welcome. How are you? Drained completely? It's
Not
the end of the
completely,
day
we're getting
almost.
there.
yeah, just the 18th cup of coffee, but I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much.
I actually started shaking the previous cup that I had.
Exactly.
Said, no more
Good
coffee.
Lord, good Lord. But okay, let me dive straight into what we are going to be talking about, which is The Hunt. It's based on a book. I want to ask you, what spoke to you so much about the book that you decided to make a show on it?
I always get excited about doing something I haven't done before. That's the starting point for everything that I do. I'd never adapted a book.
Yes.
Never did. And this was also quote unquote true crime. I'd never done that. A genre that I'd never visited and a format that I never had explored. So that was the first thing. I said yes. However, I had a little bit of apprehension before I took on the project because I steer clear of political or religious themes. And one of the things that Sameer Nair at Applause told me was, he said, this book literally reads like a thriller. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to delve into the reasons behind. So that's what this show is about. 7 episodes devoted to the 90 days from the beginning of the assassination to its conclusion. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what was truly exciting, to make like this gripping but realistic thriller.
Absolutely. But you know, when you read the book, because of what it is based on,
Correct.
one would imagine, even as a reader, that it could also get translated into a very gripping and nice documentary. So why not a documentary but a web series?
It's a space that I know I can explore well.
Okay.
A docudrama. I was loosely calling it a docudrama because of the feel, but it's very much not a documentary. Because I don't do documentaries well. I don't know how to weave a story together based on footage that already exists. I like to control my footage.
Wow.
Yeah. So you really need to know what your space is in. I've gotten offers a couple of times to do documentaries, and I delved into one, and about 6 months into it, I realized, oh my God, this is horribly tough. And this is not something, I don't see the world that way.
Okay.
So it's like, here's all the footage, now make a story out of it. I don't know.
Right.
I like to weave the story beforehand and then go shoot it. So that's why I clearly made it. I can't say a fictional piece, let's call it historical fiction.
Historical fiction. Yeah, fair. You just said that, Mr. Sameer Nair said that, let's treat it like a thriller, a gripping thriller, and, not give it any political or religious color. And, while I did read your interviews, you said that, the idea was to stay as factual, as objective as possible. But do you, however, believe that it is tough today to make a film on a political figure or on a political case?
See, it clearly depends on the approach of the filmmaker, okay? Having said that, the kind of toxic environment that we're in,
Absolutely.
anyone can take anything out of context. And we run the real risk, but if you live and breathe in today's times, and you're a filmmaker or you're an actor, you're exposed to that. You don't need to do anything for people to make an issue out of. That's the reality of the situation. So you have to just, deal with whatever comes. I cannot say this enough times that I was so clear, my co-writers and I, to clearly steer clear of anything political, to keep it moving from step to step and just, working on the thriller aspect. I'd like the audiences to watch it and judge for themselves, but I really hope it doesn't veer off into something it's not.
Absolutely. Having said that, I would want to ask to the two of you actors, when you get a script like this, that's sort of based or has some, political color to it, are you apprehensive of taking them up because there is, like he said, there's so much of toxicity, there's so much of backlash, let's say, on social media. People are so quick to dissect and jump to conclusions. Is that something working at the back of your head?
I've never had any apprehensions.
Okay.
Because I think my life is as an actor. I don't know any other life. And to be an actor means that you should be able to, despite any pressures from outside, should be able to focus on just what you want to do. It could be any character. Say random example that if I get an offer to play Adolf Hitler, I will. I would love to play him, but it would probably have a backlash, most probably. कि अरे यार क्यों तुमने कराया, तो इतना खराब आदमी था ये. But मैं वो आदमी नहीं हूँ.
जी.
I'm playing him. And people need to understand that. I think most of them do understand that. अभी कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
बिल्कुल.
तो वो उसका तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते.
Right.
But I've never had any apprehensions. And I've played the bad guy, the villain so many times. And if you do play any role, any character, and you do it honestly, I think people appreciate it, people understand it. Like whatever I've done so far, even the villainous roles, I have tried to put a human condition to it. I've tried to put the grey in it.
Right.
एकदम ही कोई psycho हो तो फिर अलग बात है. Then if you're playing a psychotic killer or something, then obviously the guy is like completely gone case. But जो villains भी हैं ना, उनका भी कुछ ना कुछ goodness होता है उनके अंदर, कुछ ना कुछ और grey होता है, सब कुछ black and white नहीं होता. So I think if you understand that and play anything, people most of them, they appreciate it, and so there's no need for apprehensions at all.
Right. What about you?
The same thing. I would put in a different way, like doing this kind of real life characters which involve magnitude of this kind of seriousness of the case which affected all the both the politics of the both countries, right? It's a challenge, and whenever challenge presents, we lap it up.
Yeah.
We are waiting for such challenge, and they come not very often.
True.
As we wish. So whenever the opportunity presents, we dive into that, and it's a pleasure always.
It is. Yeah. But you don't largely bother about the fear of any backlash. That's not working in your mind at all.
No way.
Fab.
You can't think a second. You can't spend a second, microsecond on that.
Right.
You will never going to do anything worth.
Don't let your address be known to people.
Hope you have.
Everything else.
See, that is very important.
Everything else is fine.
Like Amit Bhaiya told now.
Yeah.
When I was offered the Berlin character in Super Deluxe, it's such an opportunity to portray a greyest character in the whole story, right? That's an opportunity. As he told us, it's enacting. you are becoming someone for the camera alone, not for the entire life.
Correct.
That way you are actually purifying any dirt on your soul.
Yeah, true.
It's actually a meditative process.
Right, right.
Doing a negative role.
Yeah, actually.
Cathartic.
Wow. Like a
Cathartic, yeah.
interesting perspective. Yeah. But all of you, do you think this could have released on the big screen, you think, without any kind of censorship?
You know, it's hard to say because now if you just go with this and instantly, I've been half the journalists who've been asking me this question, right? How did you get into the political space? And my first thing is, this is not a political show. But if you look at this and you see the Rajiv Gandhi assassination, the first thing that's going to strike you is, oh, this is a political show.
Yeah.
But it's not. So to answer your question, if a filmmaker dealt with it in an apolitical way and presented it on the big screen, it's very possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible. I don't see why it's not. Because it's, if you just jump to conclusions based on the title, it's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you watch, even if you watch our show, very clearly you'll be like, oh, they've handled all sides with humanity, with dignity. There's no finger pointing. There's no delving into anything political. Nothing. And that's where we leave it.
It's majorly for the audience to decide.
Correct.
What they have just witnessed.
Yeah.
After watching the show.
But you know, on a slightly different note, sir, I want to ask you, why haven't we been seeing you directing more Hindi films? What has kept you away?
Web series have kept me away.
Multiple.
Because now for about 6-7 years straight, I've just been doing one series after the other. And please understand that a series is about 4 feature films.
Yeah.
It's that kind of effort, and volume makes a difference. You know, you can't just say quality is more important than quantity. Nonsense. Quantity is frighteningly important, because if you're going to do 7 episodes, you better hope to hell that all 7 episodes hold. It's not like 2 are bakwas and 5 are good. You know what I'm saying? So that volume of work has, I mean, it's really taken all these years. So this year I hope to shoot a feature, but we'll see.
Wow.
It just is exhausting when you finish a web series.
I'm sure, yeah. What about you? When will we see you with a full-fledged Hindi film?
Yeah, when they are asking me, I will.
No, come on. You haven't, I'm sure you've received scripts, offers.
I have done the Monica Met Darling.
Yeah, that happened, but more.
Yeah, they are giving me very nice actual role, but I am learning Hindi. Right?
Oh.
So if it's like modern time character, contemporary character, I can manage. If it's like kind of historical character or period character like Vallabhbhai Patel, something like the younger age of Vallabhbhai Patel, I can't pull it out with my few Hindi
Sometimes language barrier becomes a handicap.
Have you ever seen Naseeruddin Shah acting in any other regional language other than Marathi or Hindi?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's very, every actor has a nuance, right? For me, if I can think in the particular language, it's comes naturally for me. So I'm learning Hindi. I love to work in Hindi, Malayalam, Telugu, every language, but before that I would be well equipped with the language itself.
Right.
And then waiting.
True. But you know, you both have had such, the last few months have been great, you know, for you both in terms of the releases. You had Raid 2, there was Kesari 2. We saw in Tourist Family.
Yeah,
you know,
Tourist Family, Thug Life, Ganges.
Yes.
And luckily this is the 7th release in the last 3 months.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah. My God.
The busiest of this panel. Let's shift positions a little bit.
Actually I am doing four movies per year. All the movies are getting released. The old movies.
But you know, I personally absolutely love Tourist Family. It was a lovely film.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, but you know, on one hand, you know, this good work hopefully will continue to keep flowing. What I want to ask is, do you ever remember doing films for money? Just money?
Yeah. Yes, there have been times when you just do it for the sake of money, and but it's not been it's not been a priority at all, ever. I have left also films or work because of money, lesser money. I expected more out of it. But it's not a priority. It's not यार इतने ही पैसे दोगे तभी करूँगा, ऐसा नहीं. I mean, you have to be prudent about it. कभी-कभी बैंक भी बोलता है कि कर ले, तो करना पड़ता है. तो हाँ, but it's never been a priority,
Okay.
It will never be a priority, I think.
Wow, okay. Have you done a film just for money?
Many times.
No.
Never.
They never offered me such an...
Oh, the money was never enticing.
If at all they offer me, I would be in dilemma. So that had to be happen. That I'm okay with it.
It'll happen, but it'll happen.
It will. Of course.
Only way they offer, we'll have the dilemma, right? Money is
Okay. Last one. We are getting cues to cut this, but this 2025, 20 years of Iqbal. A film, that I think continues to inspire. What a film.
Yeah.
Won the national award. And how do you look back, how do you look at the legacy, of the film? Because people still talk about it very much so on social media.
See, when one uses the word legacy, right, there is so much hubris attached to it. Like, man, legacy, it's like, it's not that. When you make a film, you pour your heart and soul into it. And then you find out a month later that it's an abysmal flop and no one has heard about it.
Yeah.
You pour your heart and soul into a film and then it soars to the skies. So there's nothing that you do that you can say with the definitive thing that this will work. So when it works, I'm happy. When I look back on it 25 years later, it's a wonderful memory. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's not ki Iqbal maine banaya. It's not that. So there is this, that's why I'm just going off on the word legacy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a wonderful memory. It was one of the most joyous shoots. It was this fabulous world I got to create for the first time in my life. So it'll always be special. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Now I think you should re-release it. Everybody is re-releasing films.
I've heard some talk, but let's see if it happens. Maybe a new generation will see it. Maybe they won't.
They will for sure. But on that note, thank you so much to all three of you. I did watch the first 2 episodes of The Hunt.
Oh, good.
I did. And I'm really looking forward to see how it unravels in the subsequent episodes. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
To all of
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.